I'd like to call the Lyon County Board of County Commissioners to order. Today is Wednesday, May 13th, 2026, 9:00 a.m. This is a special meeting hearing on the service plan for the proposed North Lyon Power General Improvement District. All commissioners are in chambers except for Commissioner Casanelli, who is online. Please join us with the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Hendricks.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this brings us to public participation. No action will be taken on any item until it is properly agendized. It is anticipated that public participation will be held at this time, though it may be returned to at any time during the agenda. Citizens wishing to speak during public participation are asked to state their name for the record and will be limited to 3 minutes. The board will conduct public comment after discussion on each agenda item, but before the board takes any action. Do we have any public comment in the room? Go ahead.
Robin Biggs, for the record, citizen of Yerington, Nevada. I'd like to bring the attention that the BLM in Carson City has been short 3 people for years, and now they're recently have hired I'll butcher the name, Matthew E. McGalletti. He's the field manager, and we haven't had that. And there is Lisa Ross, public affairs specialist at the Carson City office as well. And so Kimberly Dow, also known as Kim Dow, she was the district manager, but she was working alone. So a lot of this BLM land that was sold and things that are going on are really in jeopardy. It's a shame with the mega solar panels and everything that's happened within Kimberly Dow's area of being able to to sell this land and do things is way out of line, because these other individuals were not on staff. And we also didn't have a Nevada sorry. The general the Nevada, well, engineer, the state engineer. And then we didn't have the other individuals that I mentioned yesterday that were in and out and were temporary, and that's Vision Gunther Ruse, and he's with the Natural Resource Conservation, and he's the executive director also for the Nevada Association of Counties. And we didn't have we didn't have Joe Capaciro, the state engineer, was also vacant and interim people that were not up to speed on what was going on. So we were kind of in a lull, and Governor LeVar had fired the one fella.
Okay,
For
thank
trying to
you.
project it.
Your
Thank
time is
you.
up. Thank you. Is there any other public comment in the room? Is there any online? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board. Number 4, for possible action, review and adoption of agenda. Do we have any public comment on the agenda? Seeing none, bring back for motion.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Jacobson, second by Commissioner Hendricks. Those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes 5-0. Brings us to the county manager. 5A, time certain at 9:00 a.m. for possible action, public hearing on the service plan for the proposed North Lyon Power General Improvement District. The public hearing will include a presentation on the service plan, public comment, and the board may approve, conditionally approve, or deny the service plan for the proposed district. County Manager Andrew Haskin.
Good morning, Andrew Haskin, Lyon County Manager for the record. Give us just a second, we'll get the PowerPoint up. Just to start off, I didn't include a lot of the background information in the presentation just because this board has heard all of this and been a part of this process for the last year. And so I didn't feel that we needed to do that, but if there are any questions about the process or how we got there, I'd be happy to explain it. Next slide, please. So this is just kind of following up. Actually, I meant to take this slide out too, but on May 15th of last year, the board approved a resolution to initiate the formation of the North Lyon Power General Improvement District. And we have been conducting due diligence ever since. The next step in that process is to approve the service plan. And so there are a few requirements laid out in NRS 308 that the service plan must have. It must have a financial survey and a preliminary engineering or architectural survey showing how the proposed services are to be provided and financed. A map of the proposed district boundaries, an estimate of the population and assessed valuation of the proposed district, description of the facilities to be constructed and the standards of such construction, description of the services to be provided by the district, and an estimate of the costs, including the cost of acquiring land, engineering services, legal services, proposed indebtedness, and any other proposed bonds and any other securities to be issued, annual operation and maintenance expenses, and other major expenses related to the formation and operation of the district. All of those elements have been included in the service plan that is presented before you today and was included as backup in the packet. So approval of the service plan, as I mentioned before, is required before the formation of the district. The service plan is incorporated by reference in the organizing ordinance. The facility services and financial arrangements of the district has to conform to the approved service plan. So the district cannot deviate substantially from what is in the service plan, which means that at some point it probably will have to be modified, as this project gets further down the road. But for now, we feel that the service plan that is presented today is a good starting point and will help kick things off. Just wanted to touch a little bit on the process for the service plan. It's been kind of a long road. We worked with the developer to draft the service plan. Actually, I think they did the heavy lift on the first draft, and then we went through it as staff and made some edits and changed some stuff in the service plan to conform with state law. And then we began this process. So the service plan was filed with the clerk 10 days prior to a Board of County Commissioners meeting, which we then agendized for the Board of County Commissioners meeting to set this hearing today. That had to be done within 30 days. We had to do written and legal notice and provide notice to the public. That was completed. We had to put it in 3 separate newspapers 3 different times in order to do legal notice on this. Then the service plan had to be delivered to the planning commission. I made a presentation to the planning commission yesterday, and they appointed me as the representative to make a recommendation to you this morning. And then from here, we'll, depending on the outcome of this hearing, there's a 20-day period. We'll have to notice the interested parties of the action. And then there's a 3-week process after that, a 3-week period after that. So next, I'm just going to touch on some of the highlights within the service plan. These are following kind of those requirements that are supposed to be in a service plan, those required areas that are supposed to be in a service plan. The first is the statutory authority that's being created under NRS 308 and 318. The district boundaries include all of Northern Nevada Industrial Center. And you can see on the map that is included as part of the exhibits. Northern Nevada Industrial Center is just south of the city of Fernley, their city limits, up USA Parkway, north of Silver Springs. The financial survey, all infrastructure build out and construction activities will be fully funded and securitized through private development commitments. The district will not finance any development activity within the district boundaries. So the district's creation meets the public convenience and necessity requirements of NRS 318.055 subsection 4C1. Currently, there is no electric service in NNIC, and the district would provide an avenue for such electric service. Because creation of the district is anticipated to allow for electric energy service on a timeline years ahead of any commercially reasonable alternative, creation of the district would serve the public convenience and necessity. I apologize that this is so small, and the backup it's a fairly big sheet, but this is the preliminary engineering and architectural survey. The district is not proposed to own and operate most of the facilities, so it's a little bit of a different scenario that the NRS didn't necessarily contemplate. Typically, if you were building a power plant, for example, you would have all those engineering reports and everything, but since the district itself is not doing that and contracting that out, there's no need for those types of plans in the service plan. So this is just kind of a preliminary layout of the different facilities. Again, they may change at some point, and we'll bring back an updated service plan when things are a little bit more finalized with that. Population and assessed valuation. Currently, there's no residents within the district, and the assessed valuation at the moment is about $1.6 million. It's projected to be $279 million by 2031. Obviously, that is dependent on attracting some development in the area, but that is the current projection. The economic soundness and feasibility. The proposed district is economically sound and financially feasible based upon demand for electric service. The proposed privately financed service model secured and executed through enforceable contractual arrangements sufficient to support the development, operation, and maintenance of the proposed facilities. So electric infrastructure will be constructed only when required and financed by the beneficial user of that infrastructure through long-term energy supply agreements. So the district is not going to proactively build this. They'll have to have agreements in place prior to construction of any facilities. And when I say the district, I am also talking in those terms as a part of that third party provider. So the contractor for the power generation, they're not going to build anything until after agreements are in place as well. The beneficial users of infrastructure will be evaluated for creditworthiness prior to execution of any such agreement and may be required to post financial security instruments to cover all the costs. And the district's facilities and operations will be financed. I've already covered this, but will be financed entirely through private capital provided by primary generation partners and other development partners. No ad valorem taxes, general obligation debt, or financial support from Lyon County or any other governmental entity will be required. This next slide is the findings for service plan. And in NRS, it's written a little bit different, and that these are the findings for denial of the service plan, and so you kind of have to think about them backwards a little bit. But it says each Board of County Commissioners may disapprove the service plan of a proposed special district upon satisfactory evidence that A, there is insufficient existing and projected need for the organized service in the area to be serviced by the proposed district. B, the existing service in the area to be served by the proposed district is adequate for present and projected needs. C, adequate services or will be available to the area through municipal annexation by other existing municipal or quasi-municipal corporations within a reasonable time and on a comparable basis. D, the proposed special district is incapable of providing economic and sufficient service to the area within its proposed boundaries. E, the area to be included in the proposed district does not have or will not have the financial ability to discharge the proposed indebtedness, other securities, or other obligations to be incurred or on a reasonable basis. F, the facility and service standards of the proposed district are incompatible with the facility and service standards of adjacent municipalities and special districts. Or G, the proposed district is being formed for the primary purpose of financing the cost of developing private property. Each of these is covered at some point in that service plan. I do want to also point out that yesterday the board of the planning commission voted unanimously. There are 2 vacancies, so it was a 5-0 vote to recommend approval to the board. I'm happy to answer any questions. I went through that really fast, but
I have one question.
Sure. Go ahead, Commissioner Hendricks.
There's 2 different maps. Why are they different?
let me.
This one's the legal description. And this is
Where?
page 24 and 45.
This is the area.
Well, this says district boundary, service territory, and that's, I'm just wondering why there's a difference.
So I believe I unintentionally included a different version,
Okay,
which was that larger one, that must have been included with the resolution.
no, it's in page 25 of. It's exhibit A.
Oh, it's not the territory.
Okay.
This one shows, the one in the bank, in the pamphlet shows all their property they own. And not the service territory, which is just the bottom corner.
So I apologize. This is the correct one. The one in my presentation is not the correct one. I used the wrong version.
So the
The
city,
one that is in the filed service plan is the correct version.
so it includes the city of Fernley.
There is a piece of it that would be within city limits, yes. Yeah, and just so the board is aware, the city of Fernley voted unanimously to approve a resolution approving the creation of the district. If it's within 7 miles of the city or within the boundaries of the city limits, they have to approve that as well.
Any other questions? Commissioner Jacobson?
Thanks, Chair. I think everybody knows my stance on insurance. I'm not a huge fan of it. Not that I don't think you should have it, but in the insurance section on page 16, to maintain commercially reasonable insurance coverage appropriate to their activities. commercially reasonable insurance. What does that mean? What is, what are the guidelines on that or?
Yeah, good morning, Commissioners. Bob Sweeten, counsel for the project. Commissioner, good question. The reason we use the term commercially reasonable is that the insurance on these types of projects, it would obviously have to not only cover potential harm and loss like a typical policy would, but there could be components related to the way the projects are financed so that the county doesn't assume any fiscal liability at all. There could be forms of performance bonds. I will say the market for these types of large infrastructure facilities are dynamic, including with NV Energy. So the forms in which then the financial instruments that might be used to cover build out, but also insure and protect the county could come from a variety of mechanisms. Commercially reasonable in all cases would mean that the county is completely indemnified from any harm. And that is in the another part of the service plan.
Thank you. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Dry, bloody nose season.
It is.
Sorry about that.
Several.
So I need some insurance from another company. So with that, I can only imagine that insurance companies are absolutely dying to get their claws into something like this. Monitors or decides what is commercially reasonable, I guess. Is that you as the the project, is that the county's responsibility?
No, yeah, that would be through the oversight of the district board, which at this point it's proposed that would be the VOCC, which
So that would be the board.
yeah. So the board would have insight into what those agreements are and whether or not it is commercially reasonable.
Gotcha. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Commissioner Hockaday.
I'm not sure if this is going to be discussed a little later, but on page 36, you have very top of the page, cash investments, accounts receivable, net of allowance for doubtful accounts. Look at that, I'm not quite sure. What are the doubtful allowance or doubtful account possible non-payment of bills, non-payment of.
Yeah, that's like the issue.
Mm.
Yeah, it would be for non-payment.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions from the board? Do we have any public comment? Is there anything added that the applicants would like to add to it, or is it all covered?
No, David Brown for the record. Thank you. Your county manager did an excellent job of explaining the district. So thank you very much.
Okay, bring it back to the board for a motion.
Oh, I do have one more thing to add, actually. So NRS requires that it be approved by resolution. So I did include a resolution as late backup in your materials. You should have that. And it is available for the public.
All those resolutions should always be read into the record that you presented it, will allow you to read it.
Yeah. All right. I can do that. It says a resolution to approve the service plan for the North Lyon County Power General Improvement District. Whereas the Board of County Commissioners of Lyon County is authorized and empowered by NRS 318.050 and 318.055 to initiate the formation of a district having the purposes, powers, rights, privileges, and immunities provided under NRS Chapter 318, which district will serve a public use and will promote the health, safety, prosperity, security, and general welfare of the inhabitants of Lyon County and of the state of Nevada. Whereas the creation of the North Lyon County Power District will allow for the timely development of critical infrastructure, industrial infrastructure, and job creation, serving the broader public interest of Lyon County and the state of Nevada. Whereas on May 15th, 2025, the Board of County Commissioners, BOCC, approved a resolution to initiate the formation of the North Lyon Power General Improvement District and directed staff to draft a service plan for the General Improvement District. Whereas the service plan for the North Lyon County Power District has been attached as an appendix to this resolution as Exhibit A and incorporated herein by reference. And whereas the Lyon County Planning Commission reviewed the service plan at their May 12th, 2026 meeting and voted to recommend approval of the service plan to the Board of County Commissioners and appointed the county manager as the representative to make a presentation to the Board of County Commissioners. And whereas the Board of County Commissioners pursuant to NRS 308 has set May 13th, 2026 as the hearing date to review the service plan for the North Lyon Power General Improvement District. Now therefore be it resolved by the Lyon County Board of Commissioners that the service plan for the North Lyon County Power District meets the requirements set forth in NRS 308 and is hereby approved.
Commissioner
The
Jacobson.
third, whereas, Chair, it says May 15th. Is that supposed to be May 13th?
This was last year.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So you're looking for a motion to approve the
Resolution.
resolution.
Yes.
Do we have a motion?
I'll do it. Move to approve a resolution to approve the service plan for the North Lyon County Power General Improvement District as read into the record.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Hendricks, second by Commissioner Jacobson. I already called for public comment, but I don't know if you heard. So I'm going to say it one more time before we go to a vote. I went back to public comment for a second. Because I went from, then I asked the presenters if they had anything, so. Public comment.
Robin Biggs for the record. We. Going back a ways, I don't know if this is appropriate, it was talked about the public meeting, everything that had to be done. I'm wondering how many attended that 2025 public meeting and where it was held. And I understand it can't be answered now, but I'd like to have an answer. Could I move to their day? Will it be held in the same place this year? Unless it can be answered now, to wait till after the meeting, you could tell me how many in attendance there were. Just, I think that would be important that would have been in here. Thank you.
Thank you. And is there any public comment online? Okay, let's go to the vote. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I saw John's mouth move, so I'm going to say 5-0. Motion passes 5-0. 5B for possible action, propose an ordinance initiating the creation of North Lyon Power General Improvement District. County Manager Andrew Haskin.
Andrew Haskin, Lyon County Manager. So the process to create a general improvement district is kind of complicated. It's regulated by two different chapters in NRS. So you got chapter 308 and 318. They both work together, but they have different information in them. And so, and honestly, we debated on whether or not there was two ordinances required or not, but in reading the law, it's pretty clear that that there is. And so this is the initiating ordinance. There will be an organizing ordinance or creation ordinance at a later date. The initiating ordinance essentially sets the hearing date for the organizing ordinance. So. But it also lays out what the boundaries of the district are, what the name of the district will be, and what the considerations will be by the board as laid out in NRS. So I'll read those considerations really quick. This, by the way, so today it's like a standard ordinance where today we would be looking for a proposal, and then I would be bringing it back for adoption. After we notice it in the newspaper and all that. There will I already know there's going to have to be one change because, as Commissioner Hendricks pointed out, this is the one that has the wrong map in it. I apologize. I grabbed the wrong map when I did it. And so the map that was in the service plan, is the correct one. So, I would ask that if, the board chooses to propose this today, that be part of that we propose it with that change, with the correct map. And I will double check the legal boundary as well, or the legal description. I believe the legal description matches the map in the service plan, but we will double check on it. So this basically sets the hearing date for the organizing ordinance or the creation ordinance for July 2nd, 2026 at 9 a.m. here in the commission chambers. And it provides information, so any person who owns property which is located within the district may, on or before the date of the hearing listed above, protest against the establishment of the district in writing. And it provides some information there. And then that's it.
Is there any comments from the board? Is there any public comment?
Chair Keller, Casanelli here. I just had one quick question here, clarification. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
I know we had talked about this at one point, and I just needed clarification on if at some point the industrial park expands or obtains additional parcels. What is the process at that point to expand the GID? And I'm not sure. I don't see that addressed in here. I know it just says that it's everything within the footprint, basically, of the industrial park. But can the industrial park expand, and what's the process on that?
An excellent question, Andrew Haskin, Lyon County Manager. So this being just the initiating ordinance doesn't have to lay out all of that. Actually, I don't think it's laid out in the creation ordinance either. It's in NRS. So it's like any other district where the district can vote to expand territory.
Okay.
So going on that, it would be more like does it have to go to another agency to be approved? Like on the sewer and the water, we have to allow people on PUC. Is there anything, because this is power. So.
You know, I haven't been through that process specific to a power district. I don't know that anybody has. This is kind of a new idea within the state, and so I'd have to do some research and get you an answer. I'm not sure who it would go.
But again, it doesn't have anything to do with this, right?
Sorry. Thank you, Andrew. Commissioner Bob Sweeten for the record. Commissioner, very good question. This will not, because it is a GID, it will not be regulated by the PUCN. So any expansion, just like this process, I mean, we did go to the PUCN to discuss it with them to make sure that, you know, there were no issues or concerns, but there weren't. So if there is an expansion, it would be done just like we're creating the district today. There would be a similar process that, as Andrew stated, is laid out in statute. We would just come back before the board sitting as the county commission to get that expansion approved.
The only place that I could.
The service plan would be amended in that case. Andrew just mentioned to me too, that would be part of that process.
Thank you. That answered my question. Any other questions from the board? Okay, I have public comment, so we'll go ahead with public comment in the room.
Robin Biggs for the record. I missed the date of when it is, July's, I don't know if it was 2nd or 22nd. And the fact that there's a discrepancy with the maps, I don't think this should move forward because, and the fact that the amendment that he read into the records, there's a big old stack of them out there, wasn't available to the public, and that should have been read very first. We should have known what this was all about. Is really remiss, and to me, looks like it could be a violation of, open meeting law. Thank you.
Thank you. The maps are in their packet. It was just identifying which one is correct.
Andrew Haskin, Lyon County Manager for the record. Also, the board is not approving this ordinance today, just to be clear. It would just be to propose it, and similar to other ordinances in the past. Changes can be made between the proposal and the adoption if the board requests changes, so we would just update them.
Okay, I'll bring it back to the board. Does anyone want to propose the ordinance?
I propose an ordinance initiating the creation of the North Lyon Power General Improvement District with to be updated with the revised correct maps.
Second. It's just a proposal, so we don't, that's right, voting on it. So motion has been proposed by Commissioner Hendricks. That brings us to number 6, Commissioner comments. I'll go ahead and start with Commissioner Hockaday,
No comment.
Commissioner Hendricks,
No comments.
Commissioner Jacobson.
Yeah, just obviously when we did this year ago or however long, visited the site, and then I did go back just the other day. And I think it's in a great location, doesn't affect any homes. So I think this is a good fit, and I want to thank our county staff for all the work that I know has gone into this, hours and hours. And so I just want to recognize them for their time and energy.
Commissioner Casanelli.
Yeah, I'd just like to echo Commissioner Jacobson. When we initially talked about this, I was apprehensive, but all the information that's been provided along the way, I think they did a very good job putting this all together, and just want to thank everyone that was involved in that process.
And I too would thank staff and thank the applicants for taking your time and coming before us. Looking forward to the project. This brings us to our last public participation. Public participation, is there any?
Commissioner Clay Brown for the record. I just want to thank staff again, echoing what the commissioner said. They worked hard on this. We've been working on it since February 2025 with staff. So we appreciate all the time put into this, and we appreciate the commissioners listening to us and helping us figure out something that hasn't been done in over 50 years in the valley. So we appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Still under public comment.
Robin Biggs for the record. I understood that there had to be something put in the newspaper for 3 weeks, the 3 different newspapers for 3 weeks. And was that to address the meeting that would be done in July? Well, I guess it will. That'll be enough time. I'm sorry. I didn't. Yeah. But it was. So that. There was another item, but. Anyway, I do think the map of what NV Energy is doing, it's been asked for them to have a artificial, map, satellite map of where all this is going. What everything they're doing is going. It's been asked for in here, and I've heard it say, don't come back till you have that. And to show everything that's going on in Fernley, Dayton, City of Yerington and Mineral County, all those solar panels, everything that's going on, we want to see it. We want to see where that is. Because it's not being, It's not being forthcoming. They keep changing the names of these things. People are so confused. They'll argue there's only one lever going in north of Yerington, but there's that other one, and then it's all about the water. Too, and they've been told to provide that by the next meeting, and it's not being provided. People want to see where this is by their product, by their ranches. Like Henry Moreta and different people are wanting to know where this is happening at. Thank you.
Is there any other public comment in the room? Any public comment online? Seeing none, it's 9:40 and we're adjourned.